Hello everyone, this is Darwell20, and welcome to episode 35 of Darwell20's Let's Play series, where today I'd like to get my nuclear fuel processing mostly into polonium, maybe set up a little bit of plutonium setup, but mostly polonium, which, actually makes me wonder, because isn't polonium solar? Maybe. Is polonium made in the solar neutron activator? Oh no, it's a custom recipe. With a pressurized reactor chamber. Really? Okay. Okay. Cool. I guess they made that a custom recipe, but isn't it usually solar neutron activator? So I guess they changed that. All right, that's easy enough. I can handle that. So yeah, the plan for today: get my polonium nuclear waste handled. So we're letting it build up in the reactor right now. Not a big deal. The reactor is running pretty slowly. I've only got it running at a rate of 10 millibuckets per tick. I'm going to try amping that up right now. One thing I did between episodes is prep the emergency shutoff from heat, and this time I'm using the RF Tools logic gate because I actually used this in my Let's Play recently to do something similar, and I realized how good it is at this kind of setup. So what I did is I set it to if it's not receiving a signal at all, keep whatever the last signal was. Then, if it gets a signal on the left, which is the A, it will go ahead and turn on a redstone signal on the front. And if it receives a signal in the back, it turns it off. So what should happen here is, if this emits a redstone signal from this side, which is set to high temperature mode, it'll immediately shut off the reactor. And then in order for it to turn back on, I have to manually hit this button, which will turn it back on. Because when it's not receiving a redstone signal on any side, which is the current case, it maintains its last redstone signal. So, turn it on, it stays on, turn it off, it stays off. Cool? So, easy peasy. Probably one of the simpler, fission reactor shutoffs that we've done. So now that I've got that enabled, I can consider bumping this up a little bit. So what if we bumped it up to 30? I just want to make sure, we don't have a water problem. It's just, so we're net lossing water right now, so that's a bad thing. So do I not have the water happening correctly over here? Did I set that to like the wrong mode or something? It's possible. So you've got water in you, and your sidedness is... So you're building up RF, you've got steam. Gonna have to keep an eye on this guy a little bit. So yeah, he's definitely net lossing. So his side config for fluids is eject on, output on all sides. Let's make sure that this is configured correctly. Output waste, output coolant, input only. Yep, that should be cool. Oh look, you can actually see it dropping water in there. So do you think it's maybe like not enough? Maybe I need more valves? Oh, wrong one. What is it called? A turbine? Or not, reactor, I mean. Reactor port, yeah. So let's bring this back a little bit so he doesn't run out. Let's try 20. Do you net loss on 20? You do. You actually do. Where are we at with 10? Net gaining on 10, so that's good. And you guys are doing your thing still? You are. So let's aim for like 15 maybe. I'd like it to be pretty close to breaking even if I can. 19? It's pretty close. That's actually loss. Yeah. So let's go 18. Because that'll be close enough. That's a gain, I think. Alright, so you are filling, and we can tell that because if I go in here and we turn off auto-eject, the water stops flowing in. Cool. Okay, so that at least lets me know that water is going in there. So there's clearly a limit on how much water is allowed to go into this. So if we broke this guy for a sec, I can just break him, right? Just break into a running nuclear reactor. It's fine. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Stop being such a wimp. So fission reactor ports, and you guys can all be inputs, right? And now you're running again because you're getting a redstone signal, right? Yeah, nice. Okay, so now if we got quantum entangleovers, so if I threw another one here, so let's make sure that you're in net loss mode, right? So you're currently net gaining, so let's bump it up to 19, so that you're net lossing, right? So we're losing water. So now if I set your frequency to turbine water, and we set the fluids to auto-eject, you should be dumping, and you should be net gaining now? Mm-hmm. Oh. You think it's possible that we need another quantum entangloper on the other side? It's definitely possible. Just have a suspicion this might be necessary. Alright, so you're going to be turbine water set, and you're going to be fluid input on all sides. So you should be cool now? What if I made you turbine water 2? I don't want to do this, but I'm just testing to see how it works. Because I've never quite figured this out. So I'm just going to make you water 2, and I'm going to make you water 2. And now do you have a net gain? You do. Haha. Haha. Okay. So there's probably a limit to how much water can come across, right? Okay. I'm cool with that. Now, are you voiding, by the way? No, I don't have you on void access yet, so that's cool. Can you see how much water is in there? I guess we'll find out. Okay. So let me play with these numbers for a few minutes off camera, and then I'll decide how I want to do this. If I want just a bunch of pipes running across, or what. Hello, Loot B. Goodbye. I didn't need junk laying all over my base. You know, I could laser IO it. There's a few ways I could do this. I'll figure it out. Alright, so just a little bit of experimenting. Quantum entanglepers versus mechanical pipes versus laser IO. I feel like the ultimate mechanical pipes are the better choice. Laser IO has a theoretical max of 8,000 millibuckets per tick times the 8 overclockers, which leads to 72,000, right? Millibuckets per tick. But if we look at ultimate mechanical pipes, they have a capacity of 128, but their pump rate's 32. But you'll notice that when you attach a tube here, it automatically fills up with water, which leads me to believe that the turbine is pushing his water out, which further means that I don't think we have to worry about pump rate. We want to just worry about amount. Also, it's super tedious to set up all these cards. So what I'm going to do is just have a line of pipes, because that's easier. You just want them to all be independent. So that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. You can go away. So what I'm doing is something simply like this. And then 1, 2, 3. And by the way, I'm already running this reactor at 125. So do you think I can hit 200 at this point? I guess we'll find out. Remember, it'll shut off if I need to. So we're at 460, and we're dropping. But if I do this... And I don't know if you actually have to do this bit or not. It just feels right to me. And also, I think it looks better, but I don't think technically it's necessary. But look, now we have a net gain. So we're keeping up, right? So this is much easier to do than anything else, really. And I think it's the best. It may be faster to use quantum entanglepers. I can't really tell for sure, but even so, I feel like this is easier than the quantum entangloper loop, especially since you would have to have multiple channels for them. So this reactor, by the way, has a theoretical max in like the 1500 range. Which means it can get that hot, right? Maximum is 15,600. So can I do 300 millibuckets per tick on this guy? Yes, and we're net gaining on water. Nice. How about 400? Remember, it's going to use a big burst, but then it's going to slow down if we can handle the water throughput, which we can't for 400. But 300 we're net gaining on, so that's cool. And then you're over here producing you know, 17 million RF a tick. Right now, by the way, I have an energy trash can on this guy, only because if he fills up with energy in his buffer, then the water stops flowing back in, and then we run out of water, and that bad. So, you know, that's cool. So let me fill this area with water pipes here, and we'll be right back. Oh, and my fuel tank is empty, so that's a thing. How'd that happen? I did put a ring over here. You know what? It might just not be able... No, it should be able to keep up. So you're out of that. You're out of that. You're out of what? You're out of water? Oh, you did that thing. Oh, you did that thing. Somebody said if I switch the mode of the tank, it won't do this. So I guess we'll find out if that's true. All right. So speaking of, are we net gaining on fissile fuel now? We totally are. Yeah, we're generating a lot of fissile fuel. Mostly because I, watch a flowing time to this. So that's cool. But now we should be good. You can see we're like not using a lot of our pipes. So that's cool. Yeah, you've got some water in you, but, some of them are being used and other ones not as much. See, a little bit of water, but not much. So I can totally amp this guy up even further if I wanted to. How about 500? Can I go that high? Might be pushing it. 400 though? 400 seems doable. Yeah, we could chill at 400. Full buckets per tick. I'm cool with that. And we're actually breaking even on fissile fuel at that rate. Or not. Yep, or not. Or something happened to our fissile fuel. Because we were breaking even and then it stopped. What stopped over here? You know what? We might have had a buffer that just cleared out. So what if I brought you back to 300? No, something's up. Something's up. Do we think it's power related? No, I think we're cool there. I'm gonna have to play with this a little bit to see what might be going funky. Might be power. Might be power. Maybe. We got a net gain at some point, right? Yeah, so let me play around with this and see if I can figure out a good equilibrium. You know what? It might actually be our power. So let's get a flux plug on here and be smart about this. So yeah, we're out of power. So what I'm going to do is, instead of voiding this RF, obviously, we're going to flux plug it, and then we're going to have a trash can that it goes into as a subsequent, right? So you're going to go here. You're going to be on the Direwolf 20 network, but with a really low priority, like negative 1,000. Okay. And then you're going to go here, and you're going to be on the Direwolf 20 network. And you're going to bypass limit. Sweet. All right. So now what he should be doing is, and you should also bypass limit. So see, now we're dumping any excess power that we don't need into here. Cool. And that drains it all out. Perfect. Now we should be groovy over here. How much are you using? 319, and you're keeping steady. Nice. Okay. So now you are fast enough that we can go 300 maybe? Still net gaining. Good. Good, good, good. 350? How's my water doing? That's one you really want to pay attention to. 350 is still more fissile fuel than we need. All right, cool. I knew we were making enough fissile. Even at 400, we're doing okay in terms of water. And pretty close to breaking even on fissile fuel. Not quite breaking even, though. So let's do like 395 and see if we... I would rather be net gaining than net lossing, which now we're doing. So that's cool. That works for me. Cool. All right, so we have a really large amount of nuclear waste coming in. That is cool. That is what's up. I am down. Like that is awesome. Let's now process it. So ultimately we're going to want polonium and plutonium, right? So plutonium is made in an isotropic centrifuge, as usual. And polonium was made in a PRC. So let's get those, and I'll be ready to go in a moment. All right, so let's get a fission reactor port here, whose job it will be to output waste. And we want to do this in as kind of smart as a way as possible, right? Because we want to make sure if I ever want to move this stuff, it won't be a big deal. So either use really small pipes, or we could probably quantum entanglement it with gas, because I think you can do that, right? That could be fine. Let's try that. I'm not sure if I've ever done it that way before, but we could try it. Can I clear the NBT on this? Not really. So those are all the entanglements that I was using before with turbine water and all that. We'll forget about those for a minute. Okay, so you're going to be... So we have 4 million millibuckets, right? So 4,300 buckets. So you're going to be nuclear waste. And your side config for gases will basically to be input all, right? So now you didn't get any yet. You might need to be piped. We might need a pipe into that. Like it might need to be like down here. Because he won't automatically pull. So if he's not automatically pulling, let's get a, is it called a tube? Yeah, basic pressurized tube. So if I put that there, oh, it is going. Okay, never mind. It does auto eject. So we may not need that. Now I should be able to do this and this so that he's no longer doing anything, right? And should I get one of those radiation detectors mechanism? I don't know that I need a suit just yet, but, you know. What's it called? Shielding dosimeter? Yeah, maybe a dosimeter? Or is it a Geiger counter? Yeah, that's the one I want, Geiger counter. Cool. So as we can see, there's no radiation here. I've not caused a mess yet. Let's get the... If we were to put a quantum entanglement here, and I'm not going to activate it yet, I'll keep it all set to none. But what we're going to have then is we can either turn our waste into polonium or plutonium, right? So it'll be pressurized reaction chamber or isotropic centrifuge. So pressurized reaction chamber on one side, isotropic centrifuge on the other. Cool. I might want this. I might want it to be like this, so that I can do the redstone signal in the middle thing that I usually do with a lever. Seems like fun, right? So that one's, you know, active, normal redstone detection, and the other one's inverted. So when the redstone signal's on, this will run, and when it's off, this will run. That's the plan. Okay, so we'll want some basic tubes here and here. And what you'll be doing for gases will be to output eject on, right, for gases on either side. Cool. Now you're going to need water, and you're both going to need power, I presume. So that won't be too big of a problem. So what we could do, since we're going to want water and power, sounds like a perfect use case for a mod that I made. Everything's a perfect use case for a mod that I made. Wahahaha. So on the up, you're going to insert power and water. And on the up, you're going to insert just power. And then what we'll have is a tank, one of those ultimate fluid tanks, and an Evertide amulet, because this has been working out so far. Right? We'll set you to this mode, because people are saying that will make it so that it... Okay, so it totally did. That did not do what we were hoping it would do. And now you're empty. You are weird, buddy. Is this the tank that was weird that I had to, like, put away? I'm just avoiding it and getting a new one. See what happens now. Is my watch on? No, good. So you and then that. Oh yeah, see, you did go and just drop right out. Yeah, I am not sure that I understand how you work. So I'm just going to do this without doing the shift clicky thing. Now, where'd my Evertide go? Might have been in there when I picked it up. It's possible. Oh, yeah, you're dropping down there right away? Why are you dropping down there right away? You're not in range of this overclocker, right? I think so. And look, you did the same thing. Haha, okay. Well, there's your problem. We'll get more Evertide amulets. We'll put one in there. So now you can't drop, right? And we'll do the same to this one. We'll do that, and then we'll put a new one in there. And now you're emptying it. Why are you emptying it? That's not what you're supposed to be doing. Fill, empty. That might be what we want to do. Maybe. I could do that. Empty only mode? Sure. Okay, that works for me. We'll see if that behaves itself. And then on the down, obviously, we're just going to have an extract. Perfect. Okay, so you're ready to get that. Now, you needed sulfur dust to go into the top, right? I believe that to be true for polonium. Polonium. Yep, you need sulfur dust to go into the top. So that'll be an EMC link. Refined is fine. Of sulfur dust. So you know what I could do? What we could do is have a refined EMC link here of sulfur dust. And then on the down, we could have you extract. I don't think I need this much, but can't hurt. Well, it'll hurt tick rate, but you know. And then on the up can be an insert. And that'll just keep things a little bit more convenient. Yeah, I like that, right? That's good. All right, so I think all we need to do now is bring this in, right? So let's get ready. And we are going to activate nuclear waste set. And then your gases will be outputting on either side. And your nuclear waste, and for your gases, we should make sure eject is on. It is. Why do I always have so much trouble? This silly little thing. And then for your side config for gases, you'll be inputting to... Yeah, that's fine. We'll make it input on all sides for now. But we're going to have to eject that polonium at some point. Why do I always have so much trouble with quantum entangleovers? Frequency nuclear waste. Gases eject on left and right. I mean, you do have... And then you are frequency nuclear waste. Gases are input on all sides. Can nuclear waste not go through a quantum entangleover? That might be the case. That might just be all it is. I forget if it could or not. It may not be able to. So we'll just use basic pressurized tubes. Oh my goodness, I forgot PRCs. Yeah, the pressurized reaction chamber noise is very awful. But look, polonium's happening. Sweet. So now we can mechanism upgrade. I may need to get some. Let's get a stack of each. Looks like a bee visited me while I was AFK for a minute there. So stack, stack, stack. And what should be happening is it's probably filling this up with nuclear waste, but not using it. And then this one got some nuclear waste, and you're low on power because I've yet to handle the RF bit. Where do I want to put that guy? Really doesn't matter. But let's get the upgrades going first. I don't think you need gas upgrades, either of you. No, I didn't think so. Energy, maybe I'll just put it one more lower. Yeah, that should be cool. So what I'll do is I'll throw a laser node here, and then on the down, we will have an extract. We'll max it out, 100,000 RF a tick. Does that sound cool? Connect it to, it doesn't matter which one, so I'll just connect it to that one. You guys are connected to each other, right? Yes. And then a flux point right here. Cool. And now you're running. Beautiful. And then you should be empty. So what we'll do is we'll get a boop, and that should be cool. Nice. And you're making polonium for me. Excellent. Now, let's process this polonium in another pressurized reaction chamber with water and polonium. So where do I want to put that? I could put it to the left of it, right? That could be cool. So what if we had you, for gases, you're going to input on all sides, and you can output your gas to the left. And that should be filling up this polonium now. Cool. And then on the up, we will insert water and energy. And bind. And now you've got RF in that. And then polonium needs fluorite dust. Fluorite dust. Does the dust have an EMC? It does. Do we know how to make dust? Well, that's another question. Let's get some fluorite dust. Crushing wheel can handle that, or pulverizer. Or crusher from mechanism. Do we have a crusher? Do we have a pulverizer? We have none of these things. Bada bing, bada boom. Gotta love how fast that was. It's the best. So then fluorite dust. Should I use a different channel and a filter on this just in case? In theory, because it's always going to be backstuffed and we'll never run out of it, we don't need to. But also in theory, maybe it would be smart to. So how about on the down, you can have a filter of sulfur dust. Okay, so now you're allowed to extract sulfur dust. And now on the down, you will have channel orange will extract fluorite dust. Okay, on the down, yeah, that's cool. So then add fluorite dust to the maker. And then on the up, you will insert on orange fluorite dust. Beautiful. That's cool. Beautiful. Polonium pellets. And then let's also speed, energy, and all that upgrade stuff. My goodness, with the double clicks in this pack. They are all kinds of wonky. Again, pretty sure gas upgrades ain't going to do nothing. Correct. But at least speed and energy can happen. And then we have to handle spent nuclear waste, right? So then you can go away. You're processing nice and quickly. You can probably be turned back on so we can test if we're net lossing. So are we losing nuclear waste? No, we're producing more than we're using. Really? It's kind of fascinating to me. Usually you burn through nuclear waste pretty quickly, but I'm suspecting that the amount of nuclear waste that we're burning through as a result of this pack is not... Yeah. So technically we're producing 395 millibuckets per tick of nuclear waste, right? And you are... What do you produce? 10? Yeah, you're doing 100 nuclear waste every whatever duration of time this is. But not a tick, I can tell you that much. So we're going to need a lot of PRCs if we want to handle the amount of nuclear waste that we're producing. So that's going to be a thing real quick. Okay. Get me a radiation waste barrel. Or 64 of them. So we're going to need many of these PRCs. And we're going to have to figure out a way to make them behave with all the piping and stuff that we need. So what I might do is build them out like this and run the nuclear waste along the top and then feed it all. Because you're burning through this pretty quickly, right? So yeah, that should be cool. I like that plan. So what we would get is something like this. So for you, you want to be, for gases, input on the top, right? So doing this right now will do nothing. Okay? And then we would just clone the laser IO nodes, and that would be literally it. Okay? So laser IO nodes. So for you, it is simply insert yellow, blue, and green on the top, right? Yellow, blue, and green. Again, with the double clicks, you're killing me, Smalls. That's not my mod. Somebody's doing that. It's not me. Yellow, blue, and green. Cool. And then we can have more pressurized reaction chambers. So let's just test this real quick with one of them, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so if I put this here, he should get his water, his energy, and his sulfur dust. And then if I did that, he would be making the stuffs, right? And then obviously we're going to want some upgrades. And we're going to want more pressurized. Let's get 4 of them. Okay. So boom and boom. And then boom, 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 boom. Cool. Cleaning up inventory real quick. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you're all cruising, right? And then you're all going to want to gases output on the left. So let's make sure that that's what's happening. For gases, you're going to output on the left. For gases, output left. Okay, and then you, for gases, can input from the front, and then we just need, see? And now you're dumping all your polonium into here. And you're still, now we just have to handle our spent nuclear waste. And hopefully that will net loss our waste tank, and if it's not, still, we're gonna need a lot more of these. But this is the pattern, at least. We just, right down the line. And don't forget, we can always tick accelerate this if we needed to. But for now, let's handle the next bit. All right, let's get this here. And then you guys all go in. Now, remember the nice thing about these reactive waste barrels, when they tick, they void a small amount of waste. So if we tick accelerate them, they'll void their waste pretty quickly. Which is something we might want to consider. So you, for gases, will output on the left, and that should go in here. And now you should dump all your gas out, and then you guys will be getting your nuclear waste. Cool. Not too shabby. And then we'll just see if this, waste is getting pretty full here, so we're going to want to be careful, because we are generating way too much waste at the moment. Let's set your burn rate to 100, because I'm just curious. If I made that 100, are we net lossing on waste now? We're still net gaining. This will help me figure out how many more of these PRCs I need, right? If I went 75, because we're getting close. 75, we're still net gaining. Okay, 50? Gotta be enough at 50, right? Barely on the net loss side, barely losing nuclear waste. So if we're generating 50, you know, that's a thing, right? Now you're making polonium pellets, which is cool. So I can get a ender chest. How do I not have blaze rods? How do blaze rods not EMC? Explain. What's going on? Where's my blaze dudes? What's going on in here? Empty and empty. Ow. Are we burning up blaze rods or something? You know, we might be. Probably are. Probably using a bunch of blaze rods on something. Well, the good news is I'm pretty sure this is EMCable, right? Yep. So whatever we're using it for, we could just, you know. But we should have an ender chest in here as well. So then let's do you right here. And you can eject items onto the top. And then let's not forget that we're inserting on the bottom. That'll keep our fluorite dust coming in. Cool. Not too shabby, right? All right. I like this. And everybody's running and everybody's doing their thing. Yeah, that works for me. And if I have to add more, I will. All right, that's cool. So even though we're running a little bit late into the episode here, let's do our last minute thing. So what we're gonna have is, do you have anything in you yet? No. So you're going to have polonium pellets stored in you. And you're going to insert into white a filter of polonium pellets on the up. And then you're going to produce polonium pellet singularities. And then you will extract on orange. And then you should start filling that up. Beautiful, right? I like it. And polonium pellets are done. Check the box. Plus, all the RF we'll ever need for the series, more than likely. Plus, nice and stable. So for now, Del20 sign off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll come back next time, and, you know, I don't think I need to amp this up, but if I do, I will. And we can do the same for this stuff if we wanted to. But we'll see if I decide I need any plutonium. I don't know if I will. We'll see. Maybe. For now, take it easy.